Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel, and I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. I do appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. We are covering this week Tough Love Atlanta. This is Season 5, Episode 4. If you would be so kind as to like this video, and if you are new to this channel, welcome, and go on and subscribe. And I invite everyone to leave their comments below. This week and for the next couple weeks are going to be a little bit different because of the lack of content I do have. As far as my regular shows are going to be off due to the Olympics, a lot of shows aren't coming back until mid-August. So, and then I'm going to be quite active and full. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. So, to kind of make up for that, I'm going to be doing double features on what I do on Tuesdays, on what you're probably not watching that you need to be watching. And I'm tentatively planning Tuesdays and Fridays, and possibly something musically on Wednesdays or Saturdays. I just got to figure it out. I may have to jump between the two, who knows. But I still got to give you a review on my experience that I had at the Queens of R&B concert that I went to. So I have some content I want to share, and hopefully you all are supporting in your city or cities near you, because it was fire. Anyways, let's get into the show. All right, so this is Tough Love Atlanta Season 5, Episode 4 again. Again, we go back to the accident, which is more present time. Lisa is awake and coherent. The other body, it looks like it's Drew. Lisa is very also hysterical, saying I'm sorry, da 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 da, and crying. And they are putting the body in the ambulance, and she says that I gotta go. She's just demanding that she goes. The police officer is talking to Kenny, and he's asking, why are you in a car tagged as Congressman Pierce? And I think Congressman Pierce is Jackie's mom. All right, so we go back to 2 months prior, and we see Drew has gotten a voice memo from this girl saying no response after the video I sent. So obviously it's some type of sexting going on. He ends up sending a new voice message to this girl and saying, no disrespect, but I am busy. Drew calls this guy named T. I guess he was down with back in college. T is short for Terrence. I mean, he asked him about what Amber is talking about, the whole SA, and you know what SA means on this channel. I don't believe on YouTube you can actually say it, but he denies that he did anything to Amber in that way, and he asked T what happened, and T was like, look, Amber was down for whatever, and she could have left when you left. So basically he's one of those guys that overpower women even after they say no or backed out of the whole situation, and he doesn't know what no means, basically. And then T gets off the phone because he don't really want to deal with it. All right, so Jackie calls Kenny and wants to FaceTime. Kenny is in his storage unit, and of course he's got to be secured so he doesn't look like he's in a storage unit. And he calls her name Jay Boogie. And Jackie said, I don't know why you calling me all these nicknames, because this ain't it. Jackie says that I'm hungry. And Kenny said, okay, well, go fix you something to eat. And she said, no, I want you to take me out. And he says, oh, you do? After how you've been treating me? And then she's like, boy, quit playing. Even though I probably would have dealt with it in a more serious way. Like, you ain't going to treat me like a yo-yo. You either in or out, lady, in your privacy era that you're in. Kenny ends up giving in and saying, hey, okay, so we can go out to dinner or go out, but I have some conditions. He says that he is able to pick the spot. He wants to do that. And Jackie has to show PDA. Jackie was reluctant, but she says, okay. Aisha and Trey. They go on a painting date, and while they're there just getting chummy, they end up getting more, I don't know what the word is, more playful with themselves and start painting themselves. Then this white woman who is an instructor comes by and says, See, there's a reason why, just basically, hey, stop that. And there's a reason why we don't allow children in here. And then Trey was ready to get quiet with this girl, with this lady. And Aisha said, let's calm down. Let's just go. So Kenny and Jackie, they go on a date, and it looks like it's a local wing place or chicken place. You can obviously tell that this is not the normal setting that Jackie is used to going to for a date. But Kenny said, trust me, this is one of the best places in town. We find out that their credit card or debit card system is down, and they're only accepting cash. The lady says, whomever the server is or waitress is, we have an ATM in the back that you can use. I have a question like, okay, so the credit card thing is not used, but the ATM system is still up. Whatever. Jackie has her seat. Kenny goes back to the ATM and he gets the money. Of course, he's pissed because of the service fees or service charges that you get every time you do withdrawal. Of course, he wouldn't have had all of that if he was able to use his card directly with the restaurant. And we see that he only has like $9 afterwards. So Kenny comes back to the table with the money that he has withdrawn. And let me say this. He got like $60 out. I hope that food was not no $60, despite how good the wings are. Anyways. So when Kenny gets to the table, he hands the sheet to Jackie, and it's basically Jackie's must-dos. Number 1, Jackie must be nice to Kenny. Number 2, she must compliment Kenny's breath every time a waitress comes by. And then 3, Jackie has to hold his hand by the time lunch is over. Like between now and lunch over, she needs to hold his hand. And she said number 3 is quite doable, despite the nonsense that number 1 and 2 are given. All right, so the waitress comes by and Kenny orders for them lemon pepper wings, all drums. Now, this is a big debate. Now, people love lemon pepper wings. I don't really care. I don't get the hoopla, but I don't really follow that many trends though. So possibly you guys like the lemon pepper wings. My question is it drums or flats? If you have a choice, y'all let me know in the comments below. I kind of like flats a little bit more because I like to, but then I like my drums too. I don't have a preference. I kind of need equality with wings, but I don't think that everyone chooses all drums. All right, so, and this is why I said that total better not come up to $60. So after Kenny orders, Kenny says, is there something that you need to say, Jackie? So then Jackie compliments him on having good breath, despite seeing that you don't brush, that your tongue is white. Basically, he don't brush his tongue. Lord. So then she says, that's what you get for trying to force me into doing compliments. So Kenny just asked for an update on what's going on in her life, what's going on with the music. She said nothing really is going on now because she doesn't really have the time or money to invest in it. And Kenny's like, well, aren't your parents helping you out? And she's like, so you just think that because I have wealthy parents they're just giving out money? I'm paraphrasing. And Kenny said, yeah. Well, Jackie said, well, they don't. They are the type of people that only give money to stuff that they believe in. Kenny basically says, well, when they see that your stuff is really hot and you're getting all these awards and the money coming in, and then they're going to really respect you. He says something funny, and it makes Jackie laugh. And she ends up telling him, you made me laugh, and no one is able to do that. And Kenny says, I'm just, what'd he say? I'm not just nobody. Okay, Kenny. All right, so the food comes, and then they go on and eat. We go back to Aisha and Trey. Aisha asks Trey, why haven't I heard from you? And Trey says, you know why. And Aisha says, well, I like you. I was confused. Or did Trey say that? I don't know. Whichever one. Aisha says that I like you, and I was just confused. I never met anyone like you. What, you never met a guy that treats you nice? And you know what I mean, and that's what Aisha's saying. And basically Trey says, you know what, if you can't accept all of me, then there's nothing else to discuss. So Aisha says, you know what, I don't want to lose what we got, so give me another chance. All right, so we go back to Kenny and Jackie. They are done eating. He gives Jackie the money to go pay at the counter, while I believe he goes to the restroom. Well, he does drop the receipt from the ATM. Jackie picks it up, and out of curiosity, she knows that Kenny is broke. Now we move on to Drew, Lisa, and the artist Theo. Lisa's trying to set up something. I think that they're going to have some type of a live situation for Theo to come with some type of promotion. So as Lisa's getting that together, he comes by her, and Theo is like, "You smell good." I said, "Okay, see, all right." So Drew is conducting or instructing Theo at how to word things and all this good stuff. So they turn on the camera, I believe, like a phone camera, to do like an Instagram live, just me assuming. And Theo is just letting his people know about the festival that's coming up. Drew is trying to tell him what to say and is getting him frustrated because he knows what he wants to say, da 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 da. So he ends the live after doing what he needed to do. And then Drew was like, "What are you doing? You were supposed to say this, da 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 da. You were supposed to turn on the sexy for the ladies." And he's like, "I know my audience, and I'm not just trying to appeal to the ladies." And then Drew gonna say, "Oh, so you like guys?" Oh, wait, he say, "Oh, so you don't like girls?" And he says, "No, I like women." I said, get him, Theo." At this point, since they're clashing, and let me point this out before I go on, it seems like Drew clashes with every dude. Somehow he thinks that he is this alpha that is not really there, because you're quite a punk. Men respect men and know how to get along with men, and obviously that he's overly confident, meaning that there are really some insecurities there. So Theo basically said, "You know, I don't really want to work with this cat no more. I only want to work with Lisa." And Lisa says, you know, for the sake of not losing a client, she said, "That's okay." And Drew agreed, whatever he needs to do, blah, 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 blah. So while Theo and Lisa are working together, Drew goes and calls his girl up. Now, I think it's kind of like, okay, as punishment to Lisa in a way. And then since now he has free time, let me go hit up this person. And he calls her and says, "You know what? Let me come through." I'm paraphrasing, of course. Lisa notices it, but she continues on with Theo, and then Drew leaves. He doesn't even say goodbye to Lisa. All right, so we move back to Aisha and Trey. They go out to some restaurant. Aisha and Trey are having this debate. You know, there's a lot of conversation because I think like Aisha's this social media influencer and has a lot of questions that she asks her audience. So she's kind of interviewing Trey, if you want to say that. And it's about the responsibilities of the household and who should be taking care of whom. And Aisha feels like the black culture, the black man wants the woman to show what she wants, what she can provide for the table. And Aisha feels like in all the other cultures, men are gladly willing to take care of their women in their households and families. And Trey was like, "Well, I think at least 50-50 should come from both partners." But y'all can get in the comments to let me know what you guys think is most feasible within a household, a marriage / with children also. Should a man be the one to take care of everything? Are we going back to the 1950s where everything was on the man to do, whether he had to take 3 jobs? Shout out to James Evans on Good Times. You know, is that what we're doing? I mean, at this point, at how inflation and everything is going, it's going to be hard for a man to do that. I mean, unless this guy has a set job where he's making buku money, it's going to be hard for the man to make it work. Or unless you want him to be like a ghost on power, that he needs to hustle on the streets to make things work for you. Just my opinion. So they end up asking this waiter, his name is Barry, and basically what he thinks. And he thinks that it should be 50-50 and to see what the woman brings to the table. And Aisha says, "See, he's proven my point. As for the man not taking care of all the responsibilities and wanting the woman to put forth a lot of effort." Well, someone told me a couple of days ago that it should be like 100-100. we're all in and making it work. I don't believe that a man should just be the provider. I mean, take care of your home too. Not just mow the grass and take out the trash. You still got hands to wash dishes, do laundry, clean, and all of that. You know, I kind of like that. I don't believe the provider leadership role should ever be depleted from a man. I just think in this time and age, unless you got buku money, it's not going to work if it's just one person bringing in all the money and all the provision. So Trey notices Barry's sneakers and he was like, I really love them, and I've been trying to get them off this app, but every time I go on there, they're always sold out. Well, Barry says, I got a hookup, I have a plug. And Trey said, oh yeah, well, let me give you my number, and you can give me that information, blah, 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 blah. So they're exchanging numbers and all that good stuff. And then I noticed Aisha watching them. I didn't catch it the first time I watched it, but I was like, oh. So Aisha thinks that Trey is doing something, trying to get a sneaky link and trying to get with this dude. Hopefully Trey is not that type of person. Right now, I'm going to see if he's up front, but it seems like he's up front as to who he is, but we're going to see. So I'm going to give Trey the benefit of the doubt until proven otherwise. But we're going to see. But I didn't notice that. Like, oh, so now you're getting the whole DL vibe from him. So Trey, don't let me down. Lisa and Theo. Okay, so Drew left. They're vibing, and now it's getting late as Lisa notices it, and she says, it's time for me to go. And Theo was like, you don't have to leave. You can keep me company. It won't be no funny business. Lisa ends up stating that she is in a relationship. And then Theo was like, oh, well, how would your man know that you're here? And she says, because he saw us earlier. I'm with Drew. You're with Drew? And then he laughs, like, oh, really? And Lisa's like, why is that funny? Why is that hard to believe? Well, since you're with Drew, does he know that he's with you? Now that's bad. I mean, men know men. Men know men. That's the short answer to what Theo is picking up. Where was I at? But he says, I didn't mean anything by that. But you seem to be too good to be with Drew, as we all been saying. And I think Lisa says, well, a lot of people have been saying that a lot lately. But Theo says, hey, my door is always open if you want to hang sometime. So Drew goes to Aisha's apartment to go see the roommate. I forgot the name from last week. I think it was Carmela. I'm not for sure. But he asks, is Aisha home? She says no. She's hanging with her homeboy or boo thing, whatever, and probably not coming back tonight. Drew says, are you sure? So why are you tripping? Relax, as the roommate says. So what's up with that girl from the party? And Drew says again, we have an understanding. So they end up having sex. We don't see the whole scene. But then he picks her up and puts her on that kitchen counter, and they start having their way. But that's still a friend of a friend. Or at least someone that knows someone that knows someone. So you've already broken one of the rules, Drew. So I also think, Lisa, go on and make some music with Theo. Get a duet going, because we you can do it. And I don't understand why I'm in a relationship. Why? Because he gonna do what he gonna do. Drew. All right, so the last scene, we see Jason and Monica. They are at the office, and they are getting heated. They get romantic with each other, and then there's a knock at the door. Jason goes and answers it. He comes back with paperwork, and it says that this is a subpoena, and they are under a federal investigation. I don't know, Jason and Monica. Look like y'all are in deep-ish. But that's all I have for this episode. Things are heating up. I need Lisa to go on and cheat, even though she's not cheating, and get with the real man that loves women. All right, but tell me, what you thought of this episode. Hopefully you are supporting the Tough Love series. Please do that. But I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video and also subscribe to my channel if you are not. Until the next video, peace.